Assalamu alaikum. So today our topic of discussion is The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. करेक्टर लिस्ट हर नावल की इम्पोर्टेंट है. करेक्टर लिस्ट सबसे पहले करनी चाहिए ताकि करेक्टर्स क्लियर हो जाएं. प्रोटोगनिस्ट, एंटागनिस्ट, फॉइल्स, ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो कवर होनी चाहिए, पता होनी चाहिए समरी वगैरह पढ़ने से पहले. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. But before starting, you guys have to subscribe my channel. Okay, let's start. Jake Burns. The narrator and protagonist of the novel, Jake is an American veteran of World War I working as a journalist in Paris, where he and his friends engaged in an endless round of drinking and parties. Although Jake is the most stable of his friends, he struggles with anguish over his love for Lady Brett Ashley, his impotence, and the moral vacuum that resulted from the war. Jake positions himself as an observer, generally using his insight and intelligence describe only those around him, rarely speaking directly about himself. However, in describing the events and people he sees, Jake implicitly reveals much about his own thoughts and feelings. Lady Brett Ashley, a beautiful British socialite who drinks heavily. As the novel begins, Brett is separated from her husband and awaiting a divorce. Though she loves Jake, she is unwilling to commit to a relationship with him because it will mean giving up sex. Indeed, she is unwilling to commit fully to any of the many men who become infatuated with her. Though she has affairs with a number of them, however, she does not seem to draw much happiness from her independence. Her life, like lives of many in her generation, is aimless and unfulfilling. Robert Cohen, a wealthy American writer living in Paris, though uh, he is an expatriate like many of his acquaintances. Cohen stands apart because he had no direct experience of World War I and because he is Jewish. He holds on to the romantic pre-war ideals of love and fair play, yet against the backdrop of the devastating legacy of World War I, these values seem tragically observed. As a Jewish and a non-veteran, Cohen is a convenient target for the cruel and petty antagonism of Jake and his friends. Bill Gordon, like Jake, a heavy drinking war veteran, though not an expatriate, Bill uses humor to deal with the emotional and psychological fallout of World War I. He and Jake, as American veterans, share a strong bond, and their friendship is one of the few genuine emotional connections in the novel. However, Bill is not immune to the petty cruelty that characterizes Jake and Jake's circle of friends. Mike Campbell, a constantly drunk, bankrupt Scottish war veteran, Mike has a terrible temper which most often manifests itself during his extremely frequent bouts of drunkenness. He has a great deal of trouble coping with Brett's sexual promiscuity, which provokes outbreaks of self pity and anger in him, and seems insecure about her infidelity as well as the lack of money. Pedro Romero, a beautiful 19-year-old bullfighter, Romero's talent in the ring charms both aficionados and newcomers. to the sport alike. He serves as a foil for Jake and his friends in that he carries himself with dignity and confidence at all times. Moreover, his passion for bullfighting gives his life meaning and purpose. In a world of immorality and corrupted masculinity, Romero remains a figure of honesty, purity, and strength. Montoya, the owner of Pamplona Inn and a bullfighting expert. Montoya sees bullfighting as something sacred and he respects and admires Jake for his genuine enthusiasm about it. Montoya takes a paternal interest in the gifted young bullfighter Pedro Romero and seeks to protect him from the corrupting influence of tourists and fame. Frances Klein, Cohen's girlfriend at the beginning of the novel, a manipulative status seeker, Frances was highly domineering early in their relationship and persuaded Cohen to move to Paris. As her looks begin to fade, she becomes increasingly possessive and jealous. Count Mipipopoulos, a wealthy Greek count and a veteran of 7 wars and 4 revolutions. Count Mipipopoulos becomes infatuated with Brett, but unlike most of Brett's lovers, he does not subjects her to jealous, controlling behavior amid the careless, immoral, pleasure-seeking coward that constitutes Jake's social circle. The Count stand out as a stable, sane person like Pedro. He serves as a foil for Jake and his friends. Wilson Harris, a British war veteran whom Jake and Bill befriend while fishing in Spain. The three men share a profound common bond, having all experienced the horror of World War I as well as the intimacy that soldiers develop. Harris, as Jake and Bill call him, is a kind, friendly person who greatly values the brief time he spent with Jake and Bill. Georgette है, a beautiful but somewhat thick-witted prostitute whom Jake picks up and takes to dinner. Jake quickly grows bored of their superficial conversation and abandons her in a club to be with Brett. Belmonte, a bullfighter who fights on the same day as Pedro Romero in his early days. Belmondo was a great and popular bullfighter, but when he came out of retirement to fight again, he found he could never live up to the legends that had grown around him. Hence, he is bitter and dejected. He seems to symbolize the entire lost generation in that he feels out of place and purposeless in his later adult life. Last, Harvey Stone, a drunken expatriate gambler who is perpetually out of money. Harvey is intelligent and well read, yet he cannot escape his demons of excessive drinking and gambling. Like many of Jake's friends, he is prone to petty cruelty toward Cohen. ओके अल्लाह हाफिज़। वीडियो लंबी हो जाएगी, बस इतने ही इसके करैक्टर हैं। 14 इसके टोटल करैक्टर हैं। एक ही पार्ट में मैंने कहा कवर कर लें। ओके अल्लाह हाफिज़।